So what actually goes into making a business and a career out of being an author? That's exactly what we're going to be going over today. I am pulling back the curtain and you're going to be seeing a very real conversation about what it's like to run a business as an author. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm MK Williams. I'm an author and independent publisher. I love sharing my insights about all things self-publishing with you. Before I get into the details of today's video, don't forget to hit subscribe. That way you can be here every week as I release videos on self-publishing, making a career out of being an author, and now being a mompreneur. So today is definitely going to be a bonus video just because this video is going to be really long. You've been fair warned, but I do have chapters below so you can skip ahead if you would like to. And this is something that I think you should actually have a notebook and a pen in front of you to take some notes for your own author business. So if you are looking to just be a one-time author, you already have an established business and you're looking to just add a book as a line of business, this may not be as applicable to you. But if you're somebody who is looking to make a full-time career out of writing your books, publishing, self-publishing, helping people publish their books, then this is for you. So earlier this week, as I'm recording this, I posted on my Instagram that I was going to be doing a halfway through the year business review with my husband. So back in 2018, when I really wanted to take this more seriously, instead of this just being something cool I did on the side that I was just crossing my fingers and hoped would make money for me to be able to leave my job, I was like, no, if I'm going to treat this like a business, I have to treat this like a business. And we started doing these weekly business reviews. They were super helpful and just a good way to check in to make sure my actions were aligned with the priority, right? Like if I was spending all week doing something that wasn't going to move the business forward, then why was I spending my time doing that? And kind of being very specific about how I was prioritizing my time. So we do these every week. And usually we also do a quarterly review, and beginning of the year, we have this huge goal setting that we always do. And we're just goal people. But we didn't do that this year because we had a baby and it was just survive, just get it done. So I posted on my Instagram that we were going to do a halfway through the year business review. I said, I feel like I'm just a little aimless. I'm just trying to get projects done, but I don't have like a larger goal for the business. And I really want to take the time to like do that now. And the original plan was for us to wait until July 1st. We would look at all the financials so far for the year. We would be looking at a lot of different things. And then we would have a comprehensive financial and business review. Well, when I posted on my Instagram, we were going to do this, somebody who follows me on this channel also follows me there and said, oh, are you going to make that a video for your channel? To which I said, no, but I guess I could. It had never really occurred to me to kind of peel back the curtain, peel back the layers and kind of show you guys what those conversations are. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized, like, if I say my channel is also about making a career out of being an author, like this is like the nitty gritty, like what it takes is having these conversations and these different priorities being discussed and some things being taken off my plate and, saying parts of my business are going to go away, new parts of my business are going to come on and things like that. So I wanted to peel back that curtain. But then my husband and I, we talk about this all the time. And so during the course of the week, I was like, oh, no, we have to wait till we have this conversation on camera. Oh, no, we have to wait. And I was like, you know what? We're just having this conversation before we do the financial review. So that's what this conversation is. It's us going over each aspect of my business, deciding what's working, what's not working, what the view is for the future, and things like that. So I hope that you can take some insights away for your own business and that this spurs some inspiration for you. So without any further delay, this video is going to be long enough. Let's get right to it.
No, I'm excited for our business review here. First recorded business review that we've ever conducted. Mm-hmm. So we typically do more of a day-to-day, weekly discussion. So this is a much bigger, broader scope interaction. I'm excited to be part of it. I'm Jason Williams, the husband of MK Williams.
Me. Okay.
This one.
Okay, hi everybody, welcome to the channel for something totally different, and we'll see if you like this, and if this happens again. If not, this is my husband. He's here for now, and we'll see if he's in another video. He's here like in my life forever. He's just on the channel for right now, and we'll see if he's back on the channel, but he'll be in my life forever.
I may not make the cut after this, so we'll have to see if she gives me the axe here or not.
Yeah, so in addition to being my husband and the father to my child, he's also been my de facto business consigliere
CFO.
Yeah. So he helps me with all the business elements. And so I talk on this channel about self-publishing, and I always say I'm making a career out of being an author, and a lot of what I talk about is related to making a career out of being an author, but a lot of how I've actually made a career out of being an author comes down to the business discussions that we've had. We implemented in late 2018, beginning of 2019, and it was just a weekly check-in of, I was still working full-time at the time, and so it was, I had 5 things each week that I needed to get done that actually would move the business forward. And then if I was doing anything that wasn't those 5 things, I had to have a really good reason for it, because I was working a full-time job, so I didn't have much time. And it was a good way to just check in, like, did I do the things I needed to do to move the business forward? And some weeks it was write my book, edit my book. Other weeks it was get this review done for a client, and it might be just the one thing for the whole week. And so these have evolved over time. When I went full-time, we still decided to do them, but we added wine in. When I got pregnant, the wine came out, but chocolate stayed in. The wine is back now. I'm very happy about that. At least I am. So beginning of 2021, we had just had our baby. It was in the first 6 weeks of her life, so it was very stressful. And so really the goal of 2021 was just survive, like see what can get done, ultimately trying to finish off the long-term client projects, but there was no goal, and that's really not like us. Usually we're very goal-oriented. We have financial goals, we have stretch goals, we're goal people, and there was really no goal. So we had to figure that out, and kind of it's been on autopilot. I think things have been going well, but we're about halfway through the year, and so without kind of those goals to anchor things, like I know in general where we're going, but I wanted to have a full business review, and I really wanted to do it around our financial review. So we're goal people. So monthly and quarterly, we review our personal finances, just to go over our budget, our investments, where things are going. And so usually that's a good time to review the financial aspects of my business. And when we decided we were going to do this video, usually our daily conversations are around business stuff. And then I was like, well, we can't talk about it because you have to talk about it when recording. And I was like, we're just going to record this early. So this is way ahead of our usual financial review. So we're really just talking more about the strategy of the business, which I think is better, because that's really what, if there's been no strategy, it's just been work. So.
And it seems like it's been a little bit of a transition. And so I'm kind of figuring out when we're transitioning between your work, between my job and obligations of, are we transitioning to where we actually want to go? Do we actually know where we want to go?
Yeah.
It's like we know we have to do 50,000 items every day, but is that the right thing to actually be doing?
Yeah.
And so unless we know this overarching theme and goal, then how do we dictate these daily actions, those 5 steps that we used to do, and now it's 50 steps?
Yeah. So, agreed. So the first thing, so I wrote down the things that I thought would be part of this review. And then this smart aleck over here was like, well, what is the purpose of your business? Like, it's so interesting being an author is like, well, it's to be an author. But, I help so many people through Author Your Ambition. And then I put out my own books, and it's like, well, if that's all under one umbrella, what is that one big umbrella, and where do things fit in? So I tried to work on my, not a mission statement. That feels too corporate. And I'm
That's
not
okay.
corporate, I'm just me.
Right.
But what I came up with was that the purpose of my company, it exists to, by providing knowledge, support, edits, and turnkey solutions to authors, I help bring actionable, inspirational, and entertaining books to the world. So my books are included in that. I consider myself a client of my company. But then I kind of broke down the different parts. So knowledge, right? So that's like Author Your Ambition, the books, this channel, the things I'm putting out. Support. So I have long-term coaching clients. I do one-on-one consults, as well as this channel. I do developmental editing, turnkey solution. So that's really my long-term coaching. And then my biggest client, I pretty much just do everything, white label it for them. So actionable, inspirational books. So that's my Author Your Ambition books are actionable. My client books, like the one-on-one clients that I have, usually their books are either like personal finance related, or Deb's was more of like inspirational memoir as well, and she's in the FI community too. And then I have my biggest client books, which are obviously very actionable and informative. And then entertaining books. So my books are my M.K. Williams books, my fiction books are I think they're pretty. And then my client books are also entertaining too. And then I just wrote 2 statements where like inspire and assist authors, and I entertain and inform readers.
Okay.
So that was a lot.
Right.
There you go.
Absolutely. So you go back, you circle knowledge, and I do like that because you've spent years developing this specific set of unique information that you have and you're able to present. So now you want to do it in an entertaining way, but you also want to do it to help others reach their dreams and reach their goals.
Yeah.
So how do you distinguish when you write your books and when you write other books, when you help other people write their books? So there's two different things. You have your books, fiction and nonfiction, and then you also have the helping others. So how do you delineate spending time between your books and others' books?
So that's what we really haven't defined, right? So for me, and I take it really seriously when I have a client, and you see me do this all the time, like I will drop what I'm doing for my books to get the client work done, because I do feel that need to say, like, hey, they've paid me their hard-earned money to help with this, like this is their book baby, like my book babies are out in the world, like I can take care of them, and like get mine on my own schedule. So I do think I do prioritize my client work first, and I think that's important, right? Like as much as I would like to be my biggest client, I am not right now, and I need to be good with that. But we saw how that was detrimental. Like I really didn't take a maternity leave because I was like, well, I can't just leave people hanging. And so I think ultimately I'd like to get to a place where if the way that I'm helping people is not going to be the long-term clients anymore, just because the work is lumpy, it's a big commitment, and then things will come up in life that I can't predict a year out. And it really and I say this over and over again on this channel, like no well-written books are done quickly. And so it would take a year or so. And so with that, I think I just want to do the one-on-one consults and have this channel. And so that's going to then, I can have set days where like I'm recording on these days, I'm editing on these days, I only take consults on these days, and the other days I can work on my books and those kind of things, because the whole point of leaving the full-time job was for me to work on my books, and then I built a full-time job for myself. That's not my books, it's everybody else's books, which is good, which I like to do, but that's not the dream end goal.
But people need a lot of support to get a book from start to finish, to get it published, to go wide, to do all those things. So when a client needs that full service arrangement, how do you get from what you do today in your full service to a scaled down?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so I'm going to talk about that a bit more in our SWOT analysis.
Okay.
We're doing a SWOT analysis, by the way. Get ready for it. I went to business school for undergrad, but he has the MBA. I don't have one. That's why he's the CFO. But we're doing a SWOT analysis. None.
I haven't used a SWOT analysis since college.
Seriously? He evaluates businesses all day for his day job. How do you not use a SWOT analysis?
We just blow right through that.
Okay.
It's very academic.
Anyways, for y'all don't know, SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, threats. You have now been to business school.
Boom. Strengths, weaknesses, you're focusing on your internal locus of control, and opportunity and threats are the external factors.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We'll see how she did.
Strength, I'm awesome at SWOT analysis. Okay, so yes, that's the point of my business. Okay, so that's just in general the vision that I see for it currently.
Okay.
What it currently is, I do think long-term, and like long-term is in the next quarter. Starting to transition as these long-term client projects fall off, I'll really have my one big client and then myself.
Correct.
And seeing the longevity of this one really big client, how that works. Because ultimately I've worked myself into a position where like I don't have a backup. I don't have somebody I can hand work off to and that's it.
Right.
Okay, are you ready to move to the next portion?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so this is just the business composition portion. This is literally just going over what I do, what are the aspects of my business that are generating revenue. They're all generating revenue, thankfully. That wasn't always the case. So we have my biggest client, and so I kind of put them separate from all the other clients just because I would say, and it maybe wasn't true a couple months ago, but I would say most of my efforts, at least for the past 2 months, have gone to this client, which makes sense, right? They are the largest in terms of the volume of work, at least past 4 months, compensation, so it makes sense because I'm really just white label. I'm publishing for them.
Right.
So they kind of stand alone from my other clients. From my other clients outside of that large client, there's the long-term contracts. There's the one-on-one consults, 1 hour consults, and then there's the developmental edits, which I had on my, when I was looking at my like planning for this year, like things that I could do. So what I did, we're gonna rewind to things that weren't recorded. So what I did previously, I think I might have it in here. I do. So I wrote down all the things that I have done or could do or have been asked to do by other authors to help them. And then I wrote down if it was active or passive, because I want to create more passive income streams now. Nothing's 100% passive ever, but on the scale of like how active to like how passive, and then the income opportunity associated with it. And so developmental edits was on that list. Because that's part of what I do for my biggest client, but I'd never done that for like one-on-one clients. And I had it on my list of things I could do this year, and I've actually done that. Manifesting, man, it just happens. But there were other items on there that I'm just like, no, it's too active and it makes too little per hour for me to do it. So,
Ooh, I'm glad you brought that one up.
wait, I'm not talking.
Oh, okay.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No. Please.
No.
I've got a note.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so there's my biggest client, there's all the other clients, and then there's the everything that I do that's under my name. So within that is the Author Your Ambition brand, YouTube, affiliate deals, books, things like that. Then there's my fiction, my books, audiobooks, things like that. And then there's the patronage that we added on, which seemed in the moment just like it was something I knew I should be doing. And so I just signed up for Buy Me a Coffee. I think it was like 3 weeks before our daughter was born. I was like, I need to make sure this is up and running and active everywhere. And surprisingly, people have actually come through with it, which is nice. People have just bought coffees to say, I appreciate what you're doing. You know, I like the work you're doing. It's not a lot, but it's not nothing. And so it's kind of nice to know that's coming in. But it hasn't been regular enough to really count on it.
Now, I've heard more and more about it, and I really appreciate that, just because people put in a lot of hard work, and I'm speaking to you, but I'm also speaking to a lot of great contributors out there. And thank you all for what you do, and you should be appreciated. And buy some coffees. Buy some coffees.
Buy people coffees. Do it. Or whatever they would like. I can change it to pizza.
Okay.
Or beer. And I'm like, if it was wine or chocolate, I would probably change it to that. But I can't have pizza right now. When I can have pizza, I might change it to pizza. For y'all who don't follow me on Instagram, I can't have dairy or soy right now because my baby girl can't have dairy or soy.
Which means I'm restricted. That's
you don't. You could have it, but you've been a trooper and you're going through it with me. But nobody in this household has had pizza and far too long. We're stretching the bounds of humanity here. Okay, so that's the composition of the business. So we're aligned with what currently is there. Things that aren't there are kind of the things that I don't want to be doing. And things like that. I don't think there's anything that we've like permanently just like shut down as a line of business. Well, the book formatting I'm not doing anymore, and thankfully I've formatted books as a good referral partner that I can be like, nope, they can do a better job at a better price, so just go to them. Right. Sweet. It saves me time.
Right.
So
you have a whole laundry list
of things that are part of my business.
Right. And then have you quantified the value of each of these items? So could you put like a numeric system that says, I spend X amount of time and I receive X amount of dollars, so therefore this one item is worth this per hour, and you can kind of stack them financially, but you could also stack them based on how much you enjoy the work.
Yeah. So I don't have the time tracking yet. I know you've been hinting at that pretty heavily.
Number one.
So that was why
time audit.
Yes. That was why we had to start recording this before the true middle of the year, because we wanted to have this conversation. So yeah. So I have in my where I track everything document for the 2021 planning, I have what I made last year with each line, which some of them are not applicable because I wasn't doing them last year. What I plan to make this year, and then I'll put in an actual, so that'll help as well. But then I'll start the time audit, and it'll just be probably an average for the 6 months, and then I'll extrapolate from there. So to quantify it.
But also factoring in the highest returning item may not be what you enjoy the most, and it may not fit with your goal of helping bring great, adventurous, knowledgeable, whatever books. Let's repeat that.
Providing knowledge, support, edits, and turnkey solutions to authors, I help bring actionable, inspirational, and entertaining books to the world.
Inspirational,
there's not much that I'm doing that doesn't funnel into that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think it'd be hard to say, like, if there's something on there that is more profitable per hour, that I should keep doing it even if it doesn't go to the mission. Everything kind of works into that mission right now.
Right. Okay.
So that's nice.
That is nice.
Yeah. Remember when I used to write articles, $20 a pop, about how to peel a banana? That was dumb.
Still out there.
It's still out there. I think that website has been purchased and repurchased so many times. They like updated it, but whoever their new like web editor is like just took credit for it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with that. You can take credit. Nobody. If you want to know how to peel a banana, really, 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 okay.
I mean, you might have been doing it wrong in this article,
There
which
is
has
a
now
correct way to do
been ripped from you.
Yes, it's
Just
fine.
saying.
I'm not that worried about it. Don't rip off any of my other things. But, yeah, you're supposed to hold it like the monkeys do. So the top part that everybody pulls, that's the bottom, because you don't want to squeeze the bottom because then it gets mushy. The monkeys are doing it correctly. Chimpanzees, whatever they're called, they're doing it correctly. I researched this article and I was paid $20 for it. This is the life of a writer. Yes. Okay. We're moving on to the SWOT analysis portion of our time. Okay. So, SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. So I'm going to talk about my strengths.
Okay.
I'm amazing. No. Okay, so I'd say the strengths currently of the business are actually YouTube and the community. So, like, the channel's growing, and I think I'm connecting well with the people who watch it. I definitely notice regulars who continue to ask questions, who comment their encouragement and support. Like, some people will comment, and then they'll actually, like, comment on, like, other channels. So, like, they're following me elsewhere. And so I think that's really a strength that, like, just by putting out these videos, and I have another video that's either coming out or is already out about how I grew the channel so far. It's kind of crazy to think, like, I put it out there to try and help people, but I was trying to help people in my immediate, like, network, and now, like, it's helping so many more people around the world, and that's really exciting to see. And I think that's a strength that if I can just continue to really lean into that community, and, like, I'm trying to give, like, I have a Facebook page for Author Ambition, but it's a page, it's not a group. And so I'm trying to moderate a group, but I think if I could do something like that, that would really help to foster that community. So I think that's a current strength.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was going to mention that about some sort of a membership or group of some kind, because it is great to connect with other people, like-minded people. And there are so many struggles out there, and you do only have so much time and can answer so many questions, but everyone has a unique taste and unique blend that they could offer, so it would be nice.
So you think I should start a Facebook group and manage it?
No, that's
that's what I would say. Okay. I'd say another strength is word of mouth referrals for getting business. So I really haven't ever had to run ads, market for clients, do lead generation for clients, prospect. Like, it's always like somebody I've worked with recommends, like, one other person, like Doug would probably have me busy for the rest of my life if he could, just constantly referring people, which is awesome.
Right.
But I'm just like, I'm too busy, but okay, send them over. Or, like, other people will just continue to send people my way, and I think that shows the strength that, like, I do good work and people recognize it.
Do you have, like, an ideal client?
Yes.
Okay.
Her name is Kelsa. I did the financial coaching playbook with her, and she's amazing. This is the book. Kelsa's awesome. She's my ideal client. Like, if I really had to think about it, she's ideal because she knew exactly what her message was. So this was a workbook that she paired with an online course she already had. She felt that the course needed a workbook for people to actually go through. So she already knew what her message was. She knew what her voice was. She knew what her budget was. She was willing to take a little bit longer to do it right than to do it rushed. And because she was so busy, she was like, I'm delegating this to you. She was like, okay, if you think that's right, do it. Versus I do enjoy teaching clients and like explaining to them so they could do it themselves. But she's like, I don't have time for that. Here, do this. And she already had a team built up, so like I wasn't constantly having to hound her to be like, hey, I need you to do this, I need you to do this. She's like, okay, Mike, do this. So that was really nice, and she was really fun to work with.
Right.
I really enjoyed working with her. So like I've worked with other people like Kelsa since then, but I feel like I have to point to my ideal client, Kelsa, and like also that like she's a female business owner like myself, she's a mom like myself. Like I think we connect on a better level because of that. Not to say that like I haven't had male clients that I work with, like Rob I'm working with now, like he's awesome to work with. Like he knows what he wants, he's driven, like he's gonna go and like do all those things. But I think you know, I just connect with Kelsa in a different way than I might connect with other clients.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I have my ideal client. I already worked with her. That's awesome. If you want to become a financial coach, or you know somebody who wants to become a financial coach, you should check this out.
But the next ideal client could be out there, and it could be you.
No, because we're not taking new clients.
Not a long term, just one-on-one coaching.
Yes, one-on-one coaching. Yeah. And so we were going to do the writing retreat together in April 2020.
Oops.
Oh, that's a good joke. So I would say strength. Getting back to my strengths.
Right.
Obviously not staying on topic. One of my strengths is the people are being referred to me, that I don't have to go and like hustle to get new leads.
But that's something you can't control.
I can't control it, but it's been consistent.
Right. Right.
So, and because there were times, like I remember saying last January, like I was so busy, I was like, I need less work to be coming in, and then magically it wasn't, and then like I was like, oh, my clients are kind of ending, I kind of need more work, and then boom, I had like 4 new clients sign up within like 2 weeks, and I was like, oh, okay, manifesting.
Here we are again.
Manifesting. Okay, and then I'd say my other strength that I have is my backlist. So I'm getting like truly passive sales on some of my books right now. Like I don't have the time or energy to be putting into do all the Facebook posts, do the Twitter posts, like do the promotions for them. Like I haven't been on a podcast interview in a while, like to even talk about them. So they're truly passive at this point. They're not very much, and they could obviously be improved if I would take the time to do all the things that I know I should do and that I tell other people to do. So I'd say that's a strength.
Okay. So yes, so definitely your community, which is kind of the first couple. And then just the work that you've put in over the years. Publishing multiple books. 3 years of YouTubing.
Oh, so much YouTubing.
3 years of YouTubing.
I know, like 3 years.
Right.
3 years. And this is the first time you're on the channel. We should have done this ages ago.
Absolutely. Yeah. 2021.
2021.
Things are anew.
So, all right, cool. Okay, weaknesses. Saying yes to more projects.
Okay.
Yeah, because we started 2021 with no new clients. I had to finish all the current client projects, and you know what I did within the first 2 weeks?
Sign new clients.
So I think saying yes, you know, I want to help people, say that I could help them, or like they happen to ask me in a moment where like there's a lull in other projects because the work is lumpy, and I'm like, oh, I totally have time to do that right now. And then I get what I'm going through right now where I have like 3 books that all need developmental edits all at the same time.
Right.
With everything else. Okay, so I'd say another weakness is not calling out scope creep and requesting more money for the extra work, which I know I should do. And I know that that's something that a client would potentially expect, right? Like you're asking me to do more than we initially talked about, but I just feel so icky asking for it. And like I pride myself on having reasonable prices, which just generally means I'm asking way under value. So yeah, that's a weakness.
Absolutely. Because other clients, they get shortchanged.
Yeah, comparatively, because they're not asking for all that, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And the business, and how does this business and this vision then fit into the whole MK life?
Yes.
And so that's something we're focused specifically on the business here, but that creeps into
the rest
of
it, yeah. Because it ultimately means then, okay, so I'm spending more time with this person for this project, and it needs to be done right. You know, but then I'm not saying, hey, like, this took longer than we agreed on. My hourly rate is X. You owe me X amount more. I'm just saying, like, okay, it needs to be done right. So then other client work gets backed up, so I'm rushing to do that. So then we're not getting our time together.
Boundaries. Good old boundaries.
Boundaries. Weakness. Boundaries. Okay, and then I said another weakness is that I need more and better referral partners to refer people to. Like, for example, like I've been trying to find an audiobook editor for a while. Like people who are like, I'm okay narrating myself. I have all the gear to narrate it myself. And like, you know, I know I can do it. I'm a podcaster. I have this, I have that. I have a good audio setup. I just don't have the time to edit the files. Do you have a good audiobook editor? And I'm like, nope. Had a good audiobook editor. Totally ghosted me last year. I know one of my latest clients, they worked with somebody they liked and recommended, but obviously they're expensive. It's an expensive thing. And so I just don't have one. There was one person I reached out to try and be a referral partner, and I guess she was just too busy or whatever. Right. And I was like, I want to send business your way. Like, can we talk? And no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's a task. That's a task that hopefully you can spend time working on, get it figured out, and then it's solved.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be nice to be able to do that. I wouldn't mind, like, if it would be an affiliate relationship, but truly I just want to find the right people. Because I also know, like, even if it's not an affiliate relationship and I send somebody there and they do bad work, it makes me look bad. So I know I need to just get good partners. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, opportunities. Organized content calendar for consistent cross-platform posts, because it's going to help the audience and algorithms like it. So right now I'm consistent with YouTube every single Wednesday. I do bonus videos some Mondays, and that's about it for my consistency. Like, and I know I need to be posting regularly on Facebook if I want to grow on that platform, and I know people could find me there. I know I need to be posting regularly on Twitter, and people have found me there. Same with Instagram, same with other platforms. I just don't do it because in the whole mess of everything that needs to get done, it's just always the last thing.
Is there systems out there? Is there any aggregator that would help in this process?
I have a to-do item for, I think, next Friday, which I can do whenever next week, to look at some planners. So I was using Hootsuite, and then they started to, like, you got, like, so many platforms integrated in for free, and you got so many posts integrated for free. And they started cutting it, and I was like, screw you, Hootsuite. Yeah, you heard me say it. Screw you, Hootsuite. So now there's other ones like Later or Planoly or things like that. So I just need to go through and look at them and see what they can offer. I know right now, Facebook, I can schedule the content. I can see a calendar. I can do that. Twitter, I know you can pre-schedule things. It'd be nice if it was all from one platform and I didn't have to go cross-platform. But if any of these are going to be expensive to do that, it's like, well, I would really just like one for Instagram because you can't natively just schedule on Instagram from the app right now. But like Facebook and Twitter, you can. But I instead of just like, oh, I thought of something cute, let me post it. That's kind of what it's been. Like, I would actually want to sit down and think, like, what's the content I need to be putting out, that I should be putting out, that people are asking for or need to hear, and like, what's the purpose of it? Is it to get them to interact? Is it to get them to watch a video? Is it to get them to sign up for one-on-one coaching? Like, what is the purpose? So actually, like, make a matrix.
Right.
So I think that's going to take, like, another, like, planning session just to go through to do it right, instead of just like, okay, I have some random posts. Cool.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, because you've got 2 or 3 different kind of targeted audiences. Thinking of the YouTube channel specifically, but also just thinking of all the other books and authors that you've helped. So
yeah, like I need to be better at like promoting my clients with their stuff. So that's something I started to do this year. Just to be like, hey, like so and so's book's coming out. I help them. Like,
right.
Yeah. So that's gonna be like all the different things that I could be saying content wise and getting it up. So, yeah. That's an opportunity.
Absolutely. Because again, it's all going back to the vision though of getting people aligned, with your mission. Yeah. Which was clearly defined earlier.
Very clearly defined.
Clearly
defined. Okay, the next opportunity is the potential to outsource some YouTube or content items. But I don't know which items, I don't know how much, I don't know what the tax implications are, but I think we've gotten to the point where we see that there could be a benefit in outsourcing some tasks. I just don't know what. I don't know for how much. I know that was one of the things we were excited about reaching monetization on YouTube, was to be like, okay, it needs to at least pay for itself and like my time has value, but then hopefully we can pay to outsource some tasks, whether it's YouTube tasks or maybe it's other tasks if I feel that I want to keep it.
Yeah, and if you're not an expert, then I guess you go to a coach.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a thing where hiring somebody for an hour consulting session could be really beneficial for sure. And
Yeah.
other people have been down the same path that you're going down now,
Yeah.
and finding those people who are just a couple steps ahead of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was thinking if it wasn't somebody to do the YouTube video editing and things like that, because I don't mind doing it. I think I know that if I trained a person, they would do it that way. But I think sometimes I'm like, I don't do like crazy extra graphics and things like that. Like, would I actually spend more time telling somebody what I wanted versus what I could do? Like, I'm wondering if it could be somebody just to manage the content on other platforms. That I'm like, I don't know Facebook algorithm. I don't know the Twitter algorithm.
I don't know you.
I don't. Hashtag. TikTok.
TikTok.
I'm not even on TikTok. I don't even. Yeah. Okay. And then, so that's an opportunity things to look into. And then YouTube collaborations is another opportunity. Things I'm starting to look into. I like it. I'm excited about it. Like there's some exciting things that are currently in the works. It does feel a little overwhelming right now, just because like all the work I can do whenever I have a free moment is great. Any work that I have to coordinate with somebody else raises my anxiety so high, because I'm like, I could tell you right now, like in this moment if I'm free. I can't tell you tomorrow at the same time I'll be free, because I don't know what baby girl's gonna be doing, and like she's my first priority. And like I really, as much as I know people are understanding, and you know, especially the parents, like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. Like I hate being that person who's always like, oh, I can't, like gotta take care of my kid, or like sorry I'm running late. Like I just don't like that, but it's just what we are.
But people are understanding.
Yeah.
Most people are understanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't let that feeling hold you back.
Yeah.
But it is also good to recognize that time is challenging.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, those are opportunities to try and enjoy.
Because you think the collaboration would just help bring more people in and help you serve a new set.
Yeah. Well, I think, it would bring new people to my channel so they could discover it. I think it would be a chance, because usually, like, they're, like, one for one. Like, somebody's on my channel, I'm on their channel. So it's a chance for them to come to my channel and, like, show something that I have no experience in. So, like, I think this video will probably be posted after Keith's interview goes live. But, like, in my interview with Keith, like, he's talking about doing puzzle books. And I'm like, I have never done a puzzle book. Like, I've done them, but I've never created one in my entire life. And, like, you know, that's something where I could not have spoken to. And, like, I could have tried to research it. And, like, my research would have been just watching his videos. So, like, why not have him just come on? So there's a benefit to my audience as well. And things like that. So, yeah, those are the opportunities as I see them. Would you think there are any others? I haven't asked you that for the other ones.
No, I think that's a fine list for now, at least.
Okay.
Yes.
And then threats. Threats to my business. Okay.
Threat level midnight.
Threat level midnight. Okay, time creep on projects. More stress for me, less dollars per hour, just because it keeps going and going and going and doesn't just end. So yeah, time creep is a threat. Back to office scenarios. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that kind of goes into like the personal side of things. So fun fact, he's been able to work from home since COVID started, but there's going to be this back to the office drive. And so for as much as, yes, like he's working during the day, you know, he doesn't have a commute in the morning, he doesn't have a commute at night. You know, in the mornings he can help with baby girl just so I can eat breakfast, and things like that. Like as I'm working during her first nap, like he's very dutifully like, hey, don't forget to have breakfast, like make sure you eat lunch, or just little things like that, because I tend to be more of a workaholic than a not workaholic. And so it's definitely a little nerve-wracking to me, but at the same time I think we've had this conversation so much, I think I'm more comfortable with it now than when I wrote this earlier in the week. But I know that I've clearly like walked down the mental path of, okay, well, like I could do what so many moms around the country do and like get daycare for my daughter or have childcare, and I'm just kind of like, I don't want that. And I know most women who have to get they don't want, you know, they would rather be with their babies all day too, but like I have that ability, and it would seem like a wasted opportunity to not spend this time with her when like I can.
These are such precious moments, and I love all the time that we all get to spend together, and I know you love every moment with her. And that goes back to the overarching theme of how does the business fit into
And
MK Enterprises. And
I think for the times that I'm with her where I'm feeling stressed about work, it's when I'm seeing like emails coming in from clients and I feel like I need to respond right now. We're like, I know in their minds, like nobody has this realistic expectation that I'm going to respond that second. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, I need to get back to them right now. Like the client work really does, because I pride myself in doing so good, like so much good work for my clients, like it stresses me out more. So yeah.
So a lot of stress, a lot of time creep that come with these projects. So definitely identifying those challenges and why scaling back might be a necessity until we kind of understand what the new normal is going to be.
But I think that's good, right? Because it's making me get creative with other elements. So I'll be taking maybe a step back revenue wise, but I think it's going to help me take 2 steps forward down the line, because I'm really like, a lot of people say like, oh, like as the owner of my business, like I need to automate myself out of it. And I'm like, no, I literally need to automate myself out of my business because I don't have time to do all the work, and plus the part that I like, which is, writing my books. Okay. And then the final threat that I had was having a large percentage of income coming from one source, my largest client, and trying to diversify more. And we've seen this in past business reviews where we're actually looking at the revenue when we aren't just jumping to do this early. That like we know anecdotally, like that's a really big part of income. And I think we've talked more in the past few months of like, what if something did happen? Like what if that did go away, and how would that impact the business, and what would I need to scale up? And I think it's just teaching me like I need to make sure the other elements can stand on their own in case any one pillar got kicked out from under me. So
and when the clients went away before and then you put into the universe, you were looking for clients again, 4 popped in. You look at any entrepreneur and the expectation isn't for the steady paycheck. That's not what you get as an entrepreneur. So expect the ebbs and the flows.
So it'd be I'm glad that we're focusing on building other lines of it, but also knowing that like at the end of the day they are the biggest part, and so they kind of stir the iced tea a bit more. I think I got that phrase wrong. I don't drink iced tea. I know there's like some phrase like, well, what straw is stirring the iced tea? As in like who's the moving? I don't know. I got it wrong. It's fine.
Edit.
This is why we usually don't record these conversations. Okay. So the next part after our SWOT analysis was, I'm working in the business and then I'm working on the business. So what's coming up in the next 6 months for the back half of the year where I'm working in the business? So I have, from my biggest client, I have 2 books and at least 1 course, maybe 2 courses that associate with other books that we've already put out. For my other clients, I have 4 books. For myself, I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to say 4. But so the next AYA book, Author Your Ambition number 4, is writing your nonfiction book. It needs a lot of work. What was going to be the 5th Author Your Ambition book about going wide is all but done. Like there's just a little bit I need to add to the conclusion. So that might end up being 4 instead of the other one.
Going wide, coming soon. Ish.
Surprise! I'm writing a book on going wide. The Alpha Nina, I just need it back from edits, but then I'm planning to do the audiobook first so I can catch anything and then go through formatting. So that is still planned to come out this year. We'll talk to the editors tomorrow and see what we can do about that. And then I'm going to be releasing a novella that's already been written. I'm just re-releasing it as a standalone, so that should be easier when I have time for it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books and 2 courses.
And you didn't mention a YouTube channel which has weekly or more than weekly videos that come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out.
I should add that YouTube. YouTube videos. Oops. Oops. Okay. So that's what I'm doing, working in the business. And then I have the whole part with like working on the business and strategies to research and implement. So making affiliate income more consistent and easier to manage the different relationships. So I went through in the beginning half the year, and like all the services I was using, I was like, do they have an affiliate program? Because I use them, and so if I'm going to be telling people to use a service anyways, I should try and get a little bit back from it. So I kind of went, I don't want to say crazy, but I have all of them signed up for now. So I want to make it more easy to streamline and manage and check those numbers, and also just to get that information out there to make them profitable. But like I've spent a small fraction of time on it, and hopefully they start to do.
Yeah, and you're in the early innings. So, I mean, you spent years getting your business up and running just to have the ability to set up such arrangements. And then you got them set up. And then now you can figure out how to optimize and how to integrate.
Yeah. So just want to be like a bit more streamlined with that. Okay, so next thing working on the business strategies is closing out the long-term clients and trying to get more opportunities for the one-on-one, like the hourly coaching. And I'm wondering if there's like, I know we talked about this when I was like 7 months pregnant. I was like, I need to make a course. And talk me off the ledge. But wondering, is there a potential for a course or like group coaching that I could do as well to help more people at once, where it is like a fixed time, and even with the one-on-one calls, like saying like, okay, like I'm available like these 2 Saturdays a month and like 1 weeknight a month, and like that's it. And like, yes, I'm reducing the amount of times that people can book with me, but then like I know those times are coming, like we know those times are coming, we can plan around it, instead of it's kind of like, oh, it could be whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I think group coaching could be another way to do that, because then people can also learn from others as well. I think a course would be nice in the long run, but I think it's going to take so much to develop it and do it the right way. I don't think that would be in a 2021 vision. Yeah. Okay. I want to, and this kind of goes back into the content strategy planning, but like regular content to be visible where authors are and get them, 1, their answer, and 2, familiar with me as a go-to source of information. So I think that's kind of what I want to plan when I'm doing in this content planning matrix strategy.
So you're trying to discover where the questions are being posed. Do you have the information to answer those, and how do you direct those people then to your websites or YouTube or
YouTube, yeah. And then I'm wondering too, like as I'm building this up, is there a way for me to help other authors beyond just with their books, but like if they're looking to make more income as an author, like could I help them with that? I think I probably need to make more income myself before I can do that, but you know, that's an idea I had. And then if something is outsourced, what would that be? So that's the next thing to really figure out. Okay, then I had just a review of the first half of the year, the biggest flops, the greatest wins, and the second half, what's the most at risk, and then what's the most anticipated win. So I would say the biggest flop of 2021 so far is my merchandise. If you would like Author Your Ambition notebooks and coffee mugs, go get them. I literally make nothing from them. I price them enough just to cover the cost. I think I make $1 on each one. That's it. Check them out. They're super cute. I'll have a link. Yeah, they were a flop.
No comment.
Yeah,
No
from
comment.
my CFO.
But they're fun. They're a lot of fun.
They're fun.
When you get them, when you look at it, you're drinking your coffee. It's Author Your Ambition.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, so I wonder too, like if that just wasn't the right time. I see a lot of people doing stickers, and I'm like, I personally, I'm not a sticker person, and so I see people like selling merch stickers, and I'm like, are people really going that bananas for stickers?
No, you write down, you write notes. You're an author.
Right? Notebooks.
You drink coffee.
Right.
You better drink coffee. Right. Or tea. Tea's fine.
Right. Or water. I mean, you
or
can
water.
Put water in it.
You sure can.
Anyways.
Merchandise.
So yeah, that was my biggest flop. Oh well. Okay, greatest win. My baby. No, but I think the fact that she is developing, that was just like personally for us, the beginning of the year was really stressful. Just she wasn't doing well with food, and it was painful for all 3 of us. But she's like, she literally just like the postpartum one day, and she's a sweet little girl. So yeah, YouTube's monetized finally after 3 years. And then I would say surprisingly solid sales for How to Write Your First Novel. So that book came out January 4th this year. I went on pre-order like 2 days before Celeste was born. And so I really I had scheduled some items for it, but I hadn't really done much active promoting for it. I was kind of like, it's out in the world.
Hopefully people find it. It's a great book.
Yeah, and they did. And so, like, I think compared to the amount of promotion I did for it, it did well. I think if I obviously had been able to do more promotion, I probably could have done that much better. But that was a nice surprise.
Yeah. And leave a review, please.
Leave your damn review. Do it. Okay. All right, second half of 2021. Most at risk, I would say, are Alpha Nina and the other author ambition books not getting done. So, like, some of that's in my control, but some of it is, like, focusing on finishing the client projects, but there's always more projects. So that's where I just need to say no. I'm saying no. Okay. Most anticipated win is getting all the client stickies off the wall. Finishing the client projects. No more.
One-on-one coaching.
Yes, that's what I had. What did you have?
So one thing I wanted to bring up that was going to be tough, and I kind of alluded to this throughout the week, that there might be a tough question. And my question is what portion of this is business and what portion is a hobby?
Yeah.
And it's okay if a part of it's a hobby.
Yeah.
A business is designed to make money, to serve a customer, to serve its employees, all the stakeholders there.
Yeah.
You're an important part of it too, so that's what you identified as a risk with the time creep and everything of that nature. So are there portions of this that we should qualify as a hobby?
I think yes and no. Like, when I left my corporate job to do this, it was so I could have more time to focus on, like, my fiction books, right? And it was, okay, I'll take some client work on, but in my mind, I had, like, 50% of my day, like, I would just spend all morning writing my books, I would keep turning out fiction books, and in the afternoons, I would just help clients. What it's turned into, like, even before our baby was born, I was spending 40 hours a week working on client work, and I would, on the weekends, work on my books, and I was like, the whole point of me leaving my job so I could work on my books. So I feel like, yes, like, compared to what the other lines of my business make, my fiction books and the books under my name, no, they don't make nearly as much as what I get from my clients. But I also spend 90% of my time focused on that. So, like, it makes sense. That's where 90% of the income's coming from. So I think, yeah, if I was spending all my time on my fiction books and I was getting that amount of revenue, yeah, I'd call it a hobby. But I'm spending a fraction of my time on it, and it's getting revenue. So I think overall, if you look since I left my corporate job to now, I think it would still be 90% of my time has been client work, and like 10% has been me writing books.
Right.
So, yeah, I would like to change that.
Absolutely.
That's why I want to get these clients done.
Right.
I love you, clients, but
some of you gotta go.
Gotta go.
Some of you gotta go.
Gotta get your books done.
Right.
So yeah.
So does the business part need to meet a minimum revenue threshold for you to feel like you can drop business activities, business promotion, clients? Or do you feel like, no, you could go no clients, go all in and lose the revenue temporarily?
I think that's ultimately what it's going to come to, right? Like, if I'm not taking on new clients, that's what's going to happen. But then that's going to give me the time to work on building YouTube, building affiliates, building the content, for what's already out there. And yes, working on my fiction books that are sitting there neglected.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. I mean, that's what happened when I left my corporate job, right? I was making a very nice salary, and it was a very possible reality that it was going to be a very thin margins for the rest of the year. And I was surprised that I did well in the rest of 2019. I was surprised by how well I did in 2020. And I think we went into 2021 just saying, if I could be flat to 2020, that's amazing.
Right.
Because we have a baby. And so I don't want to, like, sandbag
Sandbag.
I don't want to sandbag my goals either and say, like, well, you know, if I make anything, it's great. But at the same time, if I make anything, it's great. Like, I was truly, like, going into this year just not knowing if I could do anything. Not knowing if I would just have to shut everything down, which it was a very real possibility. Like, I was feeling that anxiety and stress, and obviously our child is our priority over business. But I think, yeah, I would be okay dropping a significant portion of the income to be able to build that up. Now, am I going to feel stressed? Am I going to have to deal with the psychological ramifications of that? Yes. Like, there's a lot of my ego and my identity wrapped up in being a successful business owner and having revenue, but I'm willing to walk down that road as long as you're willing to put up with me being neurotic about it. Of, hey, like, income has gone away for XYZ to be able to grow.
Yeah. But you're still talking about this channel is going to be a priority.
Yeah.
So it's literally just the client projects.
It's those long-term projects. And the thing is, yeah, like, it's, when I think about, like, onboarding, the onboarding process isn't hard. It's when the, like, multiple projects all at once need to get done, and because of, like, I can't always control the schedule. Like, if a client has an unforeseen life circumstance, I'm like, you know what? You're the only one who knows the deadline. If you need an extra month to get your manuscript right, take an extra month. Like, I'm still going to hold you accountable to it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, maybe it would be better if I just, like, super strict on deadlines, but I don't think that would work. I don't think people would like that. I don't think it's realistic to what it takes to produce a book and get it out there. And so, yeah, it just seems like there's a huge lull, and I have big leaps and bounds I can make in YouTube and other aspects of the business, and then all of a sudden it all hits at once, and I'm just, like, overwhelmed. Yeah. So yeah, I'm okay for that feeling to go away.
Right, absolutely.
Even though I like helping people, I like bringing their books to life, I like getting to know and, like, build a relationship with my clients over a year plus, but I don't like the feeling of the stress.
Yeah. What other experiments can you do to see what impact it has? So I know you do a great job responding to all of your comments on YouTube. What if you, in a month, it says, I can't respond to comments right now. Right now, I've got these other projects. I'm stressed. I'm overwhelmed. Like, guys, I'll be back. I could
do that. Well, and there are people where what they outsource is responding to comments, which I don't know. And again, maybe it's a matter of me learning to trust that somebody could do it the way that I would do it, and as quickly as I would do it with the answer that I would give. But that's something I could do. There are people who put their channels on hiatus and say that. They're like, I'm off for a month. Like, I'm not making videos, I'm not posting videos, I'm not answering comments. Sorry. And then I think they come back and they answer them. Which I would do. Because I want to be there for people. A lot of the times the questions I'm answering, like, yep, go check out this video. And then 3, it helps the YouTube algorithm. So I don't want to mess that up.
Right.
But yes, I would consider doing a full hiatus.
Do you offer, like, a 20-minute consulting session? Say there's, like, a 5-minute prep, a 20-minute call, and then a 5-minute follow-up. What if you did?
I think that would be tough, because a lot of any of the conversations I've had have naturally taken that 50 minutes. Like, to get to understand, where's your book at? What are you doing with it? What are your goals? Like, it's really hard just to give one answer that, like, is blanket for everything. Because I had somebody who's like, like, a client referred somebody to me. I was like, oh, hey, like, here's, you can sign up. They're like, oh, like, I thought I had to pay for that time. Like, I just wanted to, like, pick your brain. And I'm like, I can't, like, give you an answer to what you need in 15 minutes. And there's no way you can just pick my brain for 5 minutes and get the answer you need. And everybody else, like, has to pay for my time. So why should I just talk with you for free? Sorry. Right. I was like, I have a YouTube channel. You can go check it out. Good luck. Like, yeah. I like the idea of offering shorter ones, but I do think it would end up creeping to like an hour. Right. That's just my honest assessment. I think what happened. My foot fell asleep too.
No comment.
Yeah, okay.
What about, like, a $20 gives you access to a monthly membership? The monthly membership has a 1-hour Q&A session.
Like a group coaching call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talked about that, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. Well,
I talked about doing a membership.
I had the idea, too.
I remember I talked about doing a membership, and I was also 8 months pregnant, and you were like, maybe this is the time to start a membership. I have talked about it. I have in my notebook all the ideas for it. I like the idea of doing that. But it's, again, it's managing and, like, giving people not just what they're paying for, but, like, that surprise and delight factor too. Like, really being there and really showing up for them. But yeah, I think that would be a much easier way. But then I would feel bad if I felt like I was nickel and diming people. Like, well, you're not my membership, so I'm not gonna answer your question. I think that's where I would have I would know that I would need to do that to, like, just to protect my time and, again, have those boundaries. But it would be hard for me to do that. Okay. But I like the idea, and I like that you're behind it.
Right. But we'll table it for now, and we'll see where things go.
Okay. I'm going to add that to my strategies to look at, like, membership. Anything else?
No.
That was it?
That's all I had.
And
Time audit is so critical. What you measure. I thought you were going to finish
gets managed.
There you go.
What gets measured gets managed. Okay. Well, this is almost an hour.
Wow.
I actually thought it would take about an hour, and it's taken about an hour. I think this was fun.
I enjoyed it.
I really hope this video turns out. If not, then this is just fun, and we were talking to ourselves.
We would have this conversation anyways.
Exactly. Anyways, well, thank you for joining me on the channel for the first time ever. I'm actually a little surprised it took you this long to get on the channel.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad to be here. I'm here to support you however I can.
Thank you.
Mwah.
All right, mushy stuff done. But okay, so this is genuinely where my business is. And so I talk on this channel about how I want to help you make a career to being an author. And these kind of conversations I get to have every day with a super smart, super supportive person. Maybe you don't get to have those conversations. Maybe you haven't even thought about the business beyond like, but I wrote a book, that's the business. So I would definitely challenge you to kind of go through something similar for yourself. Really write down, what is the purpose of your business? Is it to write the best epic fantasy sagas anybody's ever read that you're going to knock their pants off? That can be the whole purpose of your business. Or it can be if you have a business teaching people how to be a financial coach and you have a course and a workbook and all those things that Kelsey did. So whatever it is, really think about that. Look at the composition of your business, all those items, do a SWOT analysis, do it in the business, on the business. I literally just pulled different things from what I remembered from college and listening to podcasts. Like, I kind of made this up on my own, but I think it went pretty well. I got some ideas. I have some things. I kind of just really reflect on where you've been and where you want to go. And truly, if you don't know where you want to go, you're not going to get there. So definitely challenge you to try and do this for yourself. Midway through the year, so that way when you get to the end of the year, you feel like you did something productive for your author business. If this was helpful, let me know. We can do more of these. If you want to hear more from J Money over here, Jason.
That's right.
Jason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he can go back on the channel. Or if you thought this was weird, I think he's awesome. I thought this was great, but it's my channel. I guess I'll do what I want. But I want to hear from you guys, and if you have questions, post them comments, post them below.
Follow people who inspire you. Get in that community. It's all about community.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Yeah. If there's any of the business ideas we talked about here that you're like, yes, please do that, or no, don't do that, let me know. That actually would be kind of helpful.
Looking forward to hearing from you.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for sticking through to the end. I really hope this was helpful for you and that you're going to be able to walk away from this with some ideas for your own business of what your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are for your business. What are you doing that you're working in your business, and what are you doing to work on your business? What are the things you're most looking forward to? What were what are things that flopped? What are things that you can learn from so you can have more wins down the road? So I really want to take the time to really thank the people who've been supporting me on this journey. My husband's been there every single step of the way. I would not be here without him. So I want to give him a huge shout out, and he was definitely nervous coming on the channel. So please give this video a thumbs up, if nothing else than just to be like, all right, do you put yourself out in front of the camera, you got out of your comfort zone, just give them a thumbs up for that. That would be super awesome. I really want to thank the people who've also taken the time to buy me a coffee. I know we mentioned that in the video, but it means a lot to me that just out of nowhere, I've been putting out this content for a while, and people have said, I get value from this, and I want to thank this person. So I really want to go through and just thank those people who've been doing that. So a big shout out thank you to Dale, Rose, Sheila, Rachel, and of course, Anonymous. So I want to thank all of you so much just for really going out of your way to support this channel. And I'm going to continue to give you guys more information as it goes. If you did find this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. And again, don't forget to hit subscribe. That lets YouTube know that you're getting value from this video and can get in front of other authors like us. Now you can get back to writing your book. Hey, if you want to continue to support this channel and my other creative work, please head over to buymeacoffee.com and support my channel. You can buy me 1 coffee, 3, 5, 10, or you can even get a membership. Those who are in the membership are actually going to be included in the acknowledgements pages of all of my published books moving forward as a big thank you. And you can even get some additional options to get an Instagram thank you post shout out or a shout out in an upcoming video. Thank you so much for supporting this channel.
Yeah, my foot's falling asleep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe you can keep going.
Am I boring your foot?
My left foot.
Are you bored? No, okay.
Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel.